as it is TV.
While there is no such thing as race, there is such a thing as racism and white supremacy. Racist, and this is a definition that I have here by two very important African scholars who live in the States. Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, who is a psychiatrist, and Dr. Wade Nobles, who is a psychologist. They define racism or white supremacy as a false ideology created by Caucasians which declares non-Caucasians inferior to them. Racists use their power to define reality and convince others to respond to their definition of reality as if it were their own. Understand that. Understand that very clearly. So in that context, power is the key. Racists must use power to impose their false beliefs on others. So in that context, black people, African people are not racist. Because one, we don't have the power to impose our ideologies on others. And based on my study of history, I don't know of a country in Africa that has ever enslaved white people. We have never enslaved white people, or Muslims, or Chinese. That is not in our nature. That is not who we are. Now, we may be prejudiced. We may have prejudged beliefs. Some folks don't like people with bald heads. Some people don't like fat folk. That's a prejudice. Everybody is prejudiced. But you must have power to impose your prejudged beliefs on your intended victims. So we have to be very clear about language so that we can have intelligent discussions and make intelligent arguments about our points of view. Now, I want to look at another definition because I want to build on these definitions to help us understand history. A continent is defined by Webster as a large and extensive landmass with extensive plains or plateaus and one or more mountain ranges that is surrounded or nearly surrounded by water. The 7 continents, according to size, are Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Antarctica, Europe, and Australia. Now, you all are in school, so you know about continents, correct?
Yes.
So this is not anything that you didn't already know, correct?
Yeah.
All right, good. So I'm pretty sure that you all are using in your school the same maps that I was given when I was your age. And that's this map. This is called the Mercator Projection Map. It was a map that was created by a European called Mercator in 1569. This is a map that was designed by a European, and it was designed because he put Europe in the center of the map. See, whoever creates a map creates where the beginning is and where the center is. If you ever go to Australia, they have maps that are turned upside down. Australia is at the top of the map and everybody else is at the bottom. If you go to Japan, in Japan they have maps where Japan is in the center of the world and everybody else is to the east or the west. Whoever creates the map determines your reality. Now remember Webster's definition. A continent is a landmass with various mountain plains and plateaus that is surrounded or nearly surrounded by water on all 4 sides. We can see that definition certainly applies to Africa, it applies to North America, South America, Australia, and Asia, but guess what? There's no such thing as a continent of Europe. There is no such thing as a continent of Europe. All Europe is the northwest appendage of the continent of Asia. And what it represents is a group of men who call themselves Caucasians or Europeans drew an imaginary line down the western part of Asia and said everything to the east of that line is Asia, everything to the west of that line is Europe. Now, if somebody can steal a continent, I want you to imagine what they can do to your mind. So it's about knowing history so that you can understand what happened then, what is happening right now, so that you can better determine what is going to happen tomorrow, and through an understanding and application of history, you can determine what your tomorrow is going to look like. And so in 19 1874, a German cartographer, mapmaker by the name of Arnold Peters, produced this map, which is now the official map that is used by the United Nations. This is a map which more accurately shows all of the continental land masses in accurate proportion to each other. And you notice in this map, Africa is much bigger than it was in the other map. And Europe is much smaller. So what happened, let me take you back so you can see the difference between the two. See how large Europe is and how small Africa is? That's a distorted perception. This is a more accurate perception of the relationship based on land mass, square miles of Africa to Europe. So whoever creates the map determines your reality. So you cannot allow other people who have enslaved you, who disparaged you because of your black skin, to determine your reality. You must use knowledge and study so that you can determine who you are and what is real to you.